Jews who participated in the struggle in one form or the other were quite a minority itself of a minority. One might count 100, 200, could count some more with the little things that were also done, which are always important, as I've pointed out. But it is clear that amongst those who emerged, Joe Slovo, his wife who was assassinated, Ruth First, Hilda Rusty Bernstein, and so many others, that there was quite an inordinate number of Jews amongst the whites who were involved in the struggle. So probably of all the whites, and we're not talking about thousands, we're talking about hundreds, over a long period of time, you would have found 50% of them were Jewish. Whereas of 5 million Jews in South Africa, 100,000, or maybe 120 at the apex, this was quite a contribution. And I can talk personally about why and what would have motivated them and what motivated me, Mr. Hoffman. And it's Jewishness. Yeah. And I was brought up, you see, depends what you hear from your parents. And I'm not condemning those parents who didn't say what my mother said to me. But when, as a kid growing up in the war years, I could hear my uncles and the older people talking in hushed tones about what was happening in Nazi Germany and the concentration camps and the gas ovens. And, you know, how does a youngster, 7, 8-year-old, 9, whatever I was, of the war, understand that? I couldn't bear to see black people maltreated in South Africa, because that's what you saw all the time. That's what you saw. It wasn't something that might have happened once in a blue moon. You could see it every day. I said to my mother, is this what is similar, the way blacks are treated here to Jews in Europe? And this very good, sweet lady, who was a shop assistant, not very many books in my home, she said to me, what's happening to our people happened in Nazi Germany is unspeakable. There's nothing like that. And that's not happening here, that kind of mass extinction, etc. She said this to me very simply. She said, but what you see is right, Ronald. She liked to call me Ronald. It starts with maltreatment. It starts with prejudice against people. And then that got out of hand in Europe. So this is bad. You know, what troubled me in life for a long time, till I was an adult and well involved in struggle and having to answer these kind of questions, including from friends of mine, the kids who I played with at school and in my neighborhood, Jewish kids who I grew up in, went to the Hebrew school with, did the bar mitzvahs with, etc., who didn't go my way. Some of them were brighter than me, I can assure you. And our friend here will think far brighter because he thinks I'm an idiot. But seriously, some of them were much brighter. One became a judge, Richard Goldstone, and you've all heard of Richard. Yeah. There were others in sports and so on. And I tried to work out, you know, what makes me tick. And it occurred to me, and this is why those who teach children are so invaluable. It occurred to me that Ivor and Solly and Amy next door, they were like me. They cried, they didn't like certain things, they didn't like the bullies, etc. That when they raised the question, I know what they were told, because I've also heard it over and over from others to say, Ronnie, what are you doing? You're crazy, don't go with them, etc., and the communists and the blacks, etc. What do they hear? Don't worry about the blacks, you guys. because you're used to it, you can tolerate it, you see. They're used to it. That's the mantra. Don't worry, they're used to it. All the poverty and the way they have to live, etc. You know, look, each to his own. Focus on your own life. You can give the beggars some money, but you know, these people, the poor, the wretched of the earth, they're used to it. So don't waste your time. And I'm convinced this is the case. That's my opinion anyway. So the sensitization gets one involved. And you know what's so beautiful, and somebody has remarked here today very eloquently about this beautiful world and this cruel and dangerous world. You know what's so beautiful about getting involved in a struggle for human values, for justice, for equity, for freedom and dignity for all people? It turns you. It's a life-changing situation. And my life changed. And I would think and feel and say for the better. Through the struggle, through standing shoulder to shoulder with fellow South Africans, a black majority, but all colours, including whites, standing together for a just cause and a common objective. And that's why I'm optimistic about where people like us are going.
Yeah.